Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ascent Trading YouTube channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is the timeline of trading. Basically what we're going to outline in this video is the phases and the steps that it takes to become a profitable trader. This is going to be very useful to you newer traders to the trading space. And basically what we're just going to go through is the phases and all the, ups and downs of becoming profitable and learning trading overall. Of course, everything that I say in this video is all personal experience. This is everything that I went through, and I'm pretty sure this is what most traders go through, I would like to say. I know that some of my points here line up with some major traders out there in the trading space that also talk about trading. So I have a great feeling I have this under wraps, and let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to go over 5 personality traits that will help you be successful in the market. And we'll deep dive into each one of those personality traits, but what they are is patience, discipline, calm of mind, confident character, integrity, and I think we're going to put a little bonus one at the end, make you watch the whole video. So we're going to deep dive these in today's video, so let's get right into it with patience. Just a bit of an overview to start. What these phases do is these test your grit in the market. These test if you can stay disciplined, if you can stay patient, and you can still come back. It's a big psychological game in trading, right? A lot of things can go wrong, and we have to keep our mental okay. A lot of things can go right, and we have to keep ourselves humble. All of these phases are very helpful to each trader because they teach us steps to become profitable. Patience teaches you how to wait for moves. Discipline teaches you how to follow your rule set. Each trait is very useful in the trading space, and that's why I want to teach it to you young traders. So the first personality trait we're going to talk about is patience. And patience is so important because patience equals profits. Every experienced trader has been sitting on the chart for hours on end, whether they're looking at it intraday, back testing, just looking at candle structure, anything like that. We have hours documented on these charts. It's important that we are patient. We are never anticipating moves. We are never pre-entering a move. We are always trading the chart in front of us. And that boils down to having a patience play. Patient people win in this market. I wouldn't say a lot of people who just, buy right off the rip at 9:30 and, pick a direction, they make money because it's basically a 50-50. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what trading is. Well, actually, 33, 33, 33. But with that said, every sort of patience play that we take is beneficial because our rule set, or most rule sets, are based off of patience. You have to wait for a move to be made. You have to wait for your setup to happen. You have to wait for candles to align in ways that, affects your daily bias and affects what you're looking for in a trade. I'll talk about today. Let's go to the chart. So this right here is March 1st, or not March 1st, sorry. This right here is March 5th. Okay, so this is today's price action, and I'll simply talk on this because I missed a move today. I was looking at my charts. I just didn't see it in my mind, so I didn't take it, but it enforces our patience play. Basically, 9:30 opened happened. We had a huge uptick, a huge downtick, huge uptick. We really didn't make a lot of moves in the first hour and a half of the market. Basically, what we had is we had a setup of head and shoulders. Ooh, this is big. Why is this so big? Oopsie. We had a basic setup of head and shoulders. We had a neckline break right here, and we had a lower high underneath the value area low, which got us down to 679.50. So what's important here is that we had to wait 45 minutes in order for this head and shoulders to play out. We had the right shoulder, we had the head, we had the left shoulder. All of these are relevant to what we were looking for in the market. Now, I had a big bearish bias on the market today. So what I was looking for is some sort of an uptick to close the gap up here, and then some sort of reaction off that. And basically, if we were to, let's say, cancel out the first hour of price action, we'll get rid of all this, what did we get? We had a retest of the top of the gap, a lower high form, and it was straight down. Oh, my laundry's done. All right, laundry's all set. Let's get back to it. So basically, we had a close of the gap and a lower high, which got us back down to 679.50. So patience would have paid if I was paying attention this morning. I'm severely pissed that I missed this because I missed 200% on puts, which I was looking at my phone. I should have saw it, but I just didn't. And that's another part of this, right? You can have all the patience you want, but you need to be able to see it and act on it. That's the bitch of it. That's the hardest part about trading, is that you can see it, you can think it, and you can hear it, but you have to press the buttons in order to take the trade. I didn't this morning, which, I gotta stop looking at this. The second personality trait we're going to talk about is discipline. Now, discipline pairs perfectly with patience. Those two together make us profitable. We have to be patient with the charts to show us the move, and we have to be disciplined to take the move, to follow our rule set, to stay disciplined to our stop and take profits. We have to keep discipline always in our minds when we are trading. And what's great about discipline is that when we really master our discipline in the markets, it turns into confidence. And the way I look at it, the more confidence you have in the markets, the better you are off trading. You have confidence in the trades that you take. You're not second guessing. You're looking at every move like it's actionable, but you're waiting for your key checklist points to come out and show you that you should action on this trade. When I think about discipline in the market, I think about taking a third person point of view, almost a step back from taking a trade. Look at all the confluences. Look at all the parts in the trade. Does it check every box on your rule set? Does it check every box on your strategy? And does your risk to reward make sense? If we can ask ourselves those three questions and stay disciplined to them, we can be a lot more profitable in this market. I know the most disciplined traders are the most profitable ones. Some days taking no moves is better than forcing a move. Discipline helps us humble ourselves. It helps us stay confined in our rule set and confined in taking only A-plus setups. Just like the example I just showed you guys, I had a lot of discipline this morning. Sure, I could have been scalping. Not how I trade, because that's a very undisciplined trading mechanism in my opinion. Scalping, you're not trading any discipline. You're taking short moves, you're hoping and praying with a tight stop loss, and I don't mess with that. I like my nice long moves, my 100%ers, and my discipline allows me to take those. Where discipline can kind of, rail you in a sense is like in the last example, right? I stayed patient, but I wasn't actionable on it. So my discipline was a little out of sorts today, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably because I was so just, kind of thrown off with the barcode that was across my screen, which is fine. I'd rather take no trades than take a losing trade. I'd rather stay flat than be red. And sometimes that's what discipline is. It's being able to look at the first hour of the market, saying, not today, putting the phone down, putting the laptop down, and going on with the rest of your day. You don't need to trade every day. You just need to trade the A-plus setups that get you paid. The third trait that we're going to talk about is calm of mind. Now, most traders won't touch on this, and most traders won't really speak on it or talk about it, but I will. Excuse me. Having a calm of mind, not even just in the markets, but in life in general, is the baseline of stoicism. Stoicism? However you say it. I can't speak. Basically, what stoicism is it is calmness over chaos. And that is the highlight of life, right? We go through problematic situations, problematic things with our relationship. Maybe we take a bad trade. Keeping ourselves calm, keeping ourselves leveled, not crashing out, not losing our head, simply just accepting what is, okay? And calm of mind is a hard thing for most people to master, especially in today's day and age where we have these things in front of us constantly overstimulating. And having a calmness of mind is being able to kind of just step away, realize that you're overstimulated, take a relaxer, calm your mind. And I'll touch on this because I'm open about it. The way I calm my mind, I smoke so much fucking weed. I don't care. I don't listen. I'm not high 24/7, but daily, every other day. Yeah, it de-stresses me. It takes me out of a very cluttered mind, and to be honest, it helps me format my thoughts a lot better. What's the worst part about my calming mechanism is my memory. I have terrible memory. I can't remember shit. That's why I have 3 notebooks filled with crap of stuff I just had to write down. If I didn't write down that stuff, I probably would have forgotten it. And that's the key, right? You have to find something that takes you out of everyday life but makes you dialed into the things you need to focus on. Another thing I use, and you probably have seen them behind me all over the place, Legos. I grew up building Legos. It's a passion of mine, and now I have adult money, and I have a fuck ton of it, so now I can just blow it on stupid shit. And honestly, it's an investment too. Legos appreciate in value more than gold last year, which was crazy to me, but just doing something that was from a core part of my childhood makes me so relaxed and laid back that I generally think calm of mind is probably the most important trait on this list. If you cannot be calm in a chaotic situation, what I would tell you is that A, you have a weak mindset, and B, you're not able to control your emotions. And the way we tie calming your mind into the markets is controlling your emotions, not revenge trading or getting pissed off when you lose a trade or it doesn't go your way. And of course, not overspending or oversizing when we're winning a lot. You want to keep it humble. You want to keep it relaxed, and you want to keep it calm. The fourth trait we're going to talk about is confidence. Now, confidence is key in the markets. Confidence is key in life. Confidence is what tells us that we're good at what we're doing and we're confident in our own self to do it. What confidence looks like in the markets is not second-guessing your trades, not hesitating, taking it for what it is, right? We want to have confidence in the trades that we are picking. We want to have confidence in the move that we are taking. We want to have confidence in our trades, period. And what new traders struggle with a lot is confidence, right? You're always going to second guess yourself. You're always going to doubt yourself. You'll never be profitable that way. You have to be confident. Rather, it's my max loss is 25%. Oh, well, if I take this move and it doesn't turn out, okay, I only lose 25, 50 bucks, and I'm not saying obviously that's how I trade, but that key spectrum right there in your mentality can change how you trade so much. I know that sometimes I'll look at the charts at 9:15, 15 minutes before market opens, and I stress myself out because I'm like, okay, I have to do all this analysis in 15 minutes before market opens and hope and pray that I can get it all done, right? Those days, I instantly know that I have to be way more cautious with taking trades because my psyche is so out of it. I don't have confidence. I already self-doubted myself that I couldn't get my market analysis done within 15 minutes. I probably did, but it's a mentality thing, right? If you don't feel confident, you won't act confident. There's a great quote that I've recently read that I keep writing down, and I have it written down somewhere. Hold on. Shit. Alright, maybe I don't have it written down. I think it goes, as you think, so you become. That sounds correct. But that quote right there tells you everything you need to know. If you think it, you can be it. If you think it, you can do it. And if you're confident enough, you can do anything. And, if I'm going to call back to some recent videos, we talk about the perspective of your mind in a few videos ago. I really don't remember. The state of delusion is technically a state of confidence because you're thinking that you can do all these things when you're not maybe at the physical or mental level to do those things yet, but you have confidence to get there, and that will carry you a lot more than willpower or any other sort of trait. The fifth trait that we will talk about is integrity. Now, integrity can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but for me, integrity is putting in the work even though you're not seeing the results. Being able to do the work to self discipline yourself and force yourself to do your work, and basically, no matter if who's watching, no matter if you're making money or not, you are able to sit down, do your work, be confident, be disciplined. You know, integrity is just such a crucial point of life, because I remember, back in school when I used to fuck around and all that, I had a fifth grade teacher. I'm not gonna say the name or anything, but I had a fifth grade teacher who'd constantly point at the wall and make me read like the rules of the school, right? And I remember it was the fifth rule, and it was integrity, and it was the definition was doing the right thing when no one is watching. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so glad that he made me read that sign so many times, because it is a crucial part of what I think about on a daily basis with my psych. You have to be able to do the work when you're not seeing results. You have to be able to put in hours on the charts when there's no price moving. You have to be able to talk yourself through it like you're a schizophrenic. There are so many options in this market and so many ways that it can go wrong. If you don't have it nailed down, you're not going to be profitable. If you don't want to put in the work, you're not going to be profitable. If you can't put your mind to it and focus, you're not going to be profitable. You're not going to be successful. And integrity, it's a point of life. You have to be able to follow laws, even though you're not watched by cops all the time. You have to be able to drive your car within the lines because you're not in GTA. It's simple things like that that we kind of overlook on a daily basis that is an integral, no pun intended, part of life. If you're not doing what you're supposed to when no one's watching, you're undisciplined. You're lagging behind in character. People don't get anywhere in life without discipline. And what's really important about the whole integrity part of it is all of these traits pair together. That's why I'm putting them all in one video. But integrity is the part where we hold ourselves accountable. And that is the crucial part of nailing all these traits. And the sixth trait, a little bit of a bonus, is time management. Any successful person makes great value of their time. They look at money as a second currency to their time. And what the crucial part of that is those people have made the success. They make the most out of each day, whether it's a business aspect, a personal aspect, a character aspect. They're making the most out of their time. If they're successful doing it, wouldn't that make sense for you to also be successful doing it? So why wouldn't you? And I'll tee in what I've really been doing this year is I've been managing my time very wisely. I have my days planned out in the morning. I make sure I have manager blocks to sit and work, to sit and focus, to get my tasks done for the day. I have my de-stress blocks. I have my, my short blocks. Basically, how I format my days is between 3 blocks: de-stress, manager blocks, and chill blocks. Okay? Manager blocks are long forms of work, right? So my first 4 hours of work in the morning, right? That is a manager block in itself. I get 30 minutes on lunch, which is a de-stress block, and then I go back to work for 3 hours or 4 hours, right? So there's another manager block. So already off the bat, I have a solid foundation of 3 blocks in my day. After that, it's another de-stress time. Then it's time for the gym. Then it's time to record TikToks, do YouTube, catch up on some chart analysis. Basically, anything that I need to do that day, whether it's my laundry, putting oil in my car or something like that, mundane tasks. What it all ties into is wins of the day, and those can help your psyche so much, because if you're giving yourself small wins here and there, you're giving yourself steps to go higher with your tasks and complete more. I always say this, right? Within those first 4 hours of my day, that manager block, if you zoomed in on it, it would be smaller blocks within it, right? When I'm at work, I get at least 2 pages done in my notes, whether it's a script, whether it's some sort of note taking, something I have to write down, something I can explain, something I need to explain to myself because I can't think about it straight. That's in there. Obviously meals, breakfast, and my snack before the gym is fit into work. Uh, fit into those manager blocks. Everything is split up accordingly. So when you manage your time, it helps you not be so stressed out. You're not all willy-nilly all over the place. You know what needs to be done and you know what's coming up next. So realistically, the minute you start checking boxes, you're good. Like, I have it in here, and this is what I was looking for earlier, because usually I write my quotes on here. I put little sticky notes in my notes every day. These are my. I did some scripting for a core list series I'm going to do on TikTok, and these are my 2 pages for the day. All this writing is going to be scripting for a TikTok or a TikTok series. But then what I have is basically it's just a post-it. It's a to-do list. I have to film a few TikToks for my account. I have to write down the script for the core list series. I had to edit the previous video that I recorded last night. And, I wanted to look up a few things. I had to make an Amazon order. And I write myself a little quote. That right there is so helpful for my day because it helps me structure it. And if you can structure your days in a way that makes you successful, well, now that's just a plus. The core aspect of trading is psychology, and I'm a firm believer in that. You can have all the technical and fundamental analysis anybody else can grab, but what it comes down to is, can you handle it mentally? Can you sit down for hours on end, be able to lose so much money, be able to gain so much money, and still go on with your day and not be a total piece of shit, whether it's in a negative way or a positive way? These traits, in my personal experience, are what made me profitable. And not even on top of being unprofitable, it made me a better human. I mean, I cannot tell you the amount of personal growth that I've had over these past 4 years of trading. And I'll be honest, my first 2 years of trading, I was really discouraged my first year because I wasn't making a lot. I was really just going through the motions, trying to understand it. But my second year I started making some good money, so I got really egotistical. I, balled out-ish. I kind of shoved it in everyone's face, and I was an asshole, realistically. There was no humbleness about it. I was an asshole. And as I started going through the motions and I learned more and I did more stock trading and I really understood what I was doing, it made me look at more than just the charts. It made me look at myself. I'm making all this money, but am I being fulfilled? Do I feel good when I get in bed at night? No. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not doing anything with that money. Yes, I'm securing my future, which is fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's not fulfilling work. It's just structure for me. And the worst part about that is that I'm learning all these skills and now I want to do fulfilling work. I've made my money. I am happy at where I'm at. I have a great future ahead of me. Rather, I can do it in stock trading or I can run a business like I want to. A lot of people dog on me because I work 40 hours a week and I day trade on top of it. I want to run a business when I'm older. I want something to pass down to my kids. I don't want to leave them with nothing of a chart, right? A physical asset is way better than a digital one, in my opinion. Something that you can see, like cash, has more value to me than anything else in the world. Anything, materialistic in the world. That was a bad way to word it. But what's important is that all of these traits are needed to become a better person and a better trader. So what I would advise to you is take notes on this video, try to apply it to your trading, and definitely try to apply it to your everyday life. Really dial in on these things, really focus on them, and I guarantee you, you will find success. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and of course, stay green.